All right.
All right, guys, we are back. We are back, and we are live. Gentlemen, there's a lot of times where we start the show, and it's like, where do we begin, right? And that's never been more true than right now. I mean, it's the Phillies spring training has been like General Hospital and not like baseball. So we're going to get into a lot. We're going to get into the Harper stuff off the jump, all the comments he made today on Dombrowski. We're going to get into the Nick Castellanos, San Diego Padres. We're going to get into we're going to get a new pitcher. We're going to get into it all. But the thing we have to address off the jump is you can see it is Genie Day. Bones and I got the Genie masks on. A lot of people would describe this Philly spring training as a disaster, right? Disaster has been the theme of the day. What's also been a disaster, boys, is the mask that you don't see here. One of these things are not like the other. Slim, we're going to let you talk here. This is the court of opinion. This is going to be just like the justice system. You're going to be judged by your peers, but you will have your chance to get on the stand.
Yeah, so I'm just going to interject off the bat.
Whoa.
There needs to be no judgment of peers because, Your Honor, Devo, the people, in the comments, there is no disaster. I did, however, forget and made an accident. I left the Genie mask in my Philadelphia residence. It's not here in Wildwood with me right now, which is a mistake. I apologize for it, but it is not a disaster. A disaster to me is something like audio and visual problems, which we can see happens each week. So that's all I got to say on that. But I do apologize for not having my
order
Genie mask.
Like we said earlier, there's no sympathetic figure here, right? Let's get to the nuts and bolts of this. Bones, let's do a quick timeline here, right? Quick timeline. And Red Riders, people in the chat, we're going to get to your wishes because why we're wearing these ridiculous Genie masks. We'll give you a quick background. 1 year ago, we kicked this off, right? Everyone submits their 2026, their annual wishes. We grant them true. So Slim, Bones, and myself will each grant 3 wishes true. Slim had one job here. Wear your mask. He lost his mask from last year, right? We remind him how many times to reorder his mask. So, Bones, let me ask you, where do you think this mask is? Do you think he has it? Did it ever get reordered? Yes or no?
The world may never know, but I think Slim gets 2 wishes, and his other wishes, I wish I ordered a mask.
I got the receipts upon request to show that I have the mask, okay? I got the mask. It just didn't make its way down.
All right.
And
we'll see. We will see that.
I look better because of it.
He sent us a selfie midweek with the mask, so we'll give him credit there. I think all right, so enough about that. Let's kind of talk here about the thing that everyone's talking about here, right? With Bryce Harper. He arrived in Clearwater today, right, boys? And he basically did a 14-minute stand to the media, right? He talked all about everything that we've kind of wanted him to talk about with the Dombrowski not elite comments. Of course, in the offseason, he went to Matt Gelb, gave some initial comments. But the initial stuff here, it was very juicy, right? Like just to kind of give you the quick highlights, and I want to hear what you got to say, Slim. So number one, Harper was pissed off because he said, hey, we thought we keep things in home here, right? He wanted to keep things in home. The Phillies didn't with Dombrowski's not elite comment. So that was what pissed him off. Second thing is, in general, he said he thought the whole thing was wild, right? That's what's kind of been going on the internet, right? Him saying wild. People are loving that. The other thing that jumped out to me was him saying he thought Schwarber was going to Cincinnati. I thought that was a wild thing to say. And then lastly, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, him saying that the cleanup, the 4-hole production was not great. So start whatever you want there, Slim. What do you got for us?
Yeah, right off the bat is the actual comments, the wild comments. I can excuse the language Bryce Harper uses because, that's just who he is. He's kind of has like that surfer bro vibe. He's always had it, right? Don't know me if you don't bro me, going back to his rookie year. So that's him being like that. It's him just being himself. Right. At this point, I'm worried. It's the first time that I'm truly worried about this Phillies team because I thought we were getting rid of the distraction with Nick Castellanos, and it seems that another distraction might be the
That's a good point.
quote unquote franchise guy, and both these guys, Harper and Castellanos, I don't know how much they like really being challenged, because we're saying if Dombrowski's challenging you to be elite, okay, so what is elite to you then? Have you been elite to your own standards? Okay, I understand it was out. It's out in public. That's not the best way to do it.
Right.
But it puts Dombrowski in a win-win situation. Either Harper is going to not be elite again, and he's going to say, no, look, see, that's why you don't get the extension. That's why we do business the way we do it. Or he's going to look elite again, and he's going to say, hey, look, see, those comments were pretty snooed to say at that point.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Chris, because him coming out and saying this is one, it's like these comments that like Castellanos made, it's months ago. It's last season. Why bring it up? Like I get it, he has to like answer these questions. But to me, it's all about this contract extension. And he's just being a baby boom, as I call him on Bryce Boom, as I said on Twitter, because he's just being a big baby. And I'm tired of it. This might be the last year of Bryce Harper in Philadelphia. He keeps this act up because people are getting tired of it. And this is like people have brought up before, like once he left Washington, they won a World Series. Is this dude even a leader on this team? Because why would a leader on this team think he's Schwarber's going to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Like, was he even talking to Schwarber all year? Sounds like he wasn't talking to anybody.
It's a good point. I mean, the Cincinnati thing is, do we take him at his word? Like I put on Twitter, is he joking? I thought that was a weird thing to say. I viewed that, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, as another subtle jab at the organization. Almost like, oh, we don't have it under control that to bring him back, right? Like that's how I viewed that. I thought it was a weird thing to say. Like I hate to overlook into these types of things. I just thought that was a very weird thing to say. I would think you would say, no, we wanted him back. We wanted him back. They said it. The front office said it from Jump Street. We want him back. So why would you not think that?
And talking about being a leader, how are you the leader? And then you're giving so much kudos to the Dodgers over and over and over again. Like that's like I don't understand that aspect.
Well, that's
of
all
either.
money. That's all money stuff.
Right? But you don't want to see that.
That was the only thing I agree with him about.
Yeah.
Well, no, because then here's the second thing, because it's going to become like the NBA, because he has a no trade clause, right? So we're going to try to move him, like you mentioned, Bones, which I think we got to see what things look like. Hopefully, there's not a disaster in this situation. But even we try to move him, he has that no trade clause.
Well, I mean, look, let's not get too crazy here, right? Like, honestly, the biggest thing is, do we think it's over here, right? Like, is it going to end here? Was this a situation of Bryce thought that Dombrowski got to air his side publicly? He didn't want it to be public, but now that he did it, now Bryce wants to get his jab out there publicly while the microphone's in front of him. Do you think it's over here? Are we not going to be talking about this in a month?
No, I think it's going to be an all year thing.
I think it's going to be all year. And I think you kind of see the ripples of having a bad president set last year with what happened, and this isn't good. I mean, they got to get this. They got to talk to him, bring him in. Hopefully they can, because everyone says that Topper's good with that stuff. I mean, it seems like the villain is Dombrowski, right? That's how they frame it. Like Dombrowski's like this bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, his approval rating is definitely at the all-time low, I would say, from organization-wise. I mean, even the most sympathetic people, like I think myself, I would view the handling of this Bryce Harper. If there's a Bryce Harper stan on this show, I think I would be, marked as that guy. So I'm trying to be, and JR, I see your comment in the chat, because this really ties into what I'm saying. JR said in the chat, what has Bryce done wrong here? He's pissed off that some old dude can't keep business in-house. It's not the owner. It's not the fans. It's Dombrowski. The players don't like him. I mean, look, JR, what I would push back on is Bryce Harper is continuing the spectacle. He's continuing the distractions, right? He knew what he was doing. It's the first thing he said. So what I'm hoping that he was thinking, I want to get this off my chest. I would say there's a 90% chance that Harper will outlive Dombrowski as a Philly, right? So I think Harper knows that, and he's basically just playing his cards there. That's where I'm at. Yeah. So, anything else on that whole thing? Well, out of those four things, what do you think was the most wild?
The most wild was probably the Schwarber thing, right? Because that's the most out of left field.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Harper, he's just a hard guy to read for tone too. Because was
Good
he
point.
Was he joking? He did mention that the Midwest people love, that they're loyal,
right?
Which is cool. I get all that stuff as well. Yeah, it's just a little strange. And to JR, bosses are bosses, and these players, I guess, because they make more money, it's just a weirder dynamic. But I don't like it because it reminds me of the NBA. It becomes that player.
It's a good point.
They want the opt-outs. He already has the no trade. Now he wants the opt-outs. He wants to renegotiate. So I want them to win. Okay. And I just know when they're bickering, that's not good for winning or chemistry.
Yeah. Like I said at the top of the show, it's felt a lot like General Hospital here, right? Like, let's get back to baseball. Let's get back to old school. Let's not let things leak as much as they will. Talk about that with the Castellanos stuff. And Jerry, we see you in the chat as well. Jerry's saying that Harper just wants out of his contract. That's what this is all about. I hope you're wrong there, man. I mean, that's a real long game. I think he's got like 5 or 6 years left. So I really hope that's not correct.
And then the last thing, the circle back is to the cleanup hitter point, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he a part of that solution potentially?
Elaborate on that.
He's complaining, and we could easily bat him third and have Schwarber fourth, or even have Harper bat fourth.
So good timing for that question, actually, because Topper confirmed today that just recently that Turner, Harper, and Schwarber will be batting 1 through 3. 1 through 3. He did not specify the order, but he wants them up in the first inning, which I know you're big on. So I think we're all happy
that's
about
fine.
That.
That's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Good timing for that question.
Yeah, but if he hits better,
he
hits better, and like it gives other players more to like a better chance to hit. Like, so if he's doing better, the other players behind him will do better. Like, it's all like a trickle effect.
No, absolutely. And Jacob, I see you in the chat. We'll get to that. But the last thing I wanted to hit on before we transition to our to granting these wishes, guys. And again, thank you so much for all the submissions. Seriously, all the emails, DMs, we really appreciate it. We picked the top 9, if you will, because we each did 3. But obviously, we couldn't get to them all. But thank you very much for the submissions. The one thing I did want to say here, we talked about this before the show. It was a little bit hypocritical that in the same breath, Harper says he wants to keep everything in-house, right? And then he's very critical of the 4-hole not being productive last year, right? Come on, man. Like, if we're going to be playing nice, let's play nice. I'm all about the playing nice. It leads to boring answers, but it usually leads to better baseball teams, which is all what we care about the most. And then we got Mike in the chat saying Harper doesn't like that Schwarber is the favorite Philly. That's funny, man. It might be that.
It's possible.
It's possible. Is it that petty? But so Slim, since we were breaking your chops a little bit at the top of the show about your lack of mask, which obviously we were just joking, we're going to let you kick it off here with your first wish. So what are you granting first, brother?
My first wish is that Justin Crawford will bat above 275 this season. Just looking at the numbers, he's been batting well above 300 in the minor leagues. It's been 3 straight years, I think, like around 330, 313, and then maybe back up to around 330 again. You can't tell me he's going to have a massive drop-off of 50, 60, 70 points in his batting average. Now he's even going to have even better coaching. He's giving the runway to be himself again. We saw the swagger. I cannot wait to see this guy in spring training because I think he's going to be a nice little weapon for us.
I love that. I love that, and it's
I'm
going
down
to
for
be
that.
exciting. It's going to be exciting to have him out there every day. It really is. All right, Bones, what is your first wish that you're granting here?
My first wish is Zach Wheeler. We heard last week that he's going to be closer to the beginning of the season than that July thing, and we hear it's probably going to be maybe a few starts. So we're looking at like late April. Zach Wheeler is going to be the starter for the NL in the All-Star game this year, and he's going to go his way, top 3 Cy Young finish while I'm at it. That's just one wish, though. Starting the All-Star game in front of his home fans.
Wow.
Can we get a no-hitter in the first half of the year, too?
Listen, that his first no-hitter ever coming off that would be
awesome. Because I'm
really
trying to think what would be the pizzazz to get him in there. Because you got the top 10 baseball list or whatever, top 100 MLB Network.
Yeah.
Again, I know Skeens is awesome, but, man, he's the most value guy every single time. They put him above Scooble, which, again, I would not have done. And I said last year, I would not have given him the Cy Young. He's getting all the love in the world, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure he's starting that All-Star game again.
For sure.
Nonsense.
Well, speaking of the All-Star game, I have Kyle Schwarber will win the home run derby at home in Philly. So I, for the home cooking, and it ties into what you were just saying, Bones, they're going to want to push the Phillies as much as they can, right? And obviously, we know Schwarber is fully capable. So our guy's going to be in there at the bank, home run derby. We'll be in attendance, right? And I mean, that would be awesome. Would it not be?
It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Ideal scenario is Garcia has a Raul Ibanez type first half, right? And we get 2 guys in there hitting shot. And they'll have a good little contrast to one another.
Yeah. Have you seen how jacked he is today?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Somebody texted me, I'm looking forward to that 80-game suspension.
Yeah, I can see that. Looks like me back in the heyday.
Yeah, right. All right, Slim. Let's tee up your second wish here, brother.
Again, JT Realmuto will play 135 plus games. So what does that mean? He's going to set his own personal career record again, right? We're paying him $15 million a year, $45 million across these next 3 years. And I'm telling you, I truly feel like these numbers are just going to go up and up and up until this horse can't run anymore. So I'm all in on JT Realmuto. You guys heard Merrifield. What did he say? He doesn't.
There you go. You got it.
He does. Yep. I had to think for a second. He doesn't care if it was Juan Soto out there that we signed. The best signing this offseason was JT Realmuto. The reason why is because he's going to anchor our team for 135 plus games and that pitching staff.
So I looked it up. He was at 134 last year. So that would be it's only one more game.
Yeah, new record.
That was with an IL stint, right?
Yeah. All right, Bones, you are up next here. What is your second wish?
Whoa.
My second wish. Wow. Kevin Long will be gone by the All-Star game this year. And the reason I'm granting this wish is because they gave Topper the extension. Don't want to be in a lane. Something's got to give here. Like if they're running it back, something's got to give. Someone's head's got to roll if the bats aren't doing something here. And Kevin Long's going to be the scapegoat. He should have been the scapegoat last year. And that's why this year I think he's going to be, I'm granting this wish that he's going to be chucked by the All-Star game.
So, yeah, Slim, I see you over there. Dive into that.
I hope. I hope it's not the case, because that doesn't mean great things for us potentially in the first half of the year anyway. Isn't there a little bit of love with the Yankees connection between Kevin Long and maybe Mattingly now, right? So sure, I'm hoping all them guys are on the same page. And lastly, if we get rid of Kevin Long, isn't that kudos? And isn't that really signing the fate of guys like Topper and Dombrowski and giving kudos to what Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper have been saying? So, Bones, I don't think I'm going. I hope that, me personally, I don't want that voodoo wish to come true.
No, and it's funny. I thought we'd be a little bit more sympathetic for our boy, right? Because we were just talking to Chad Durbin, and he gave us a good story about Kevin Long with early Carlos Beltran, right back in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
So Bones is like, I'm throwing that to the side. He's going. I love it.
27 years ago.
It's true. That's true. Quick chat update here. So we got Jerry in the chat saying, this is funny. His
So
wish is that Casty makes the All-Star game and wins MVP. How great would that be?
Not happening. Not happening.
And JR in the chat saying 275. Slim, you're going to hit the Powerball before that happens. Talking about Crawford.
Why? Why? If he's already making contact, he's fast, training some things out, and he'll be good.
I don't think 275 is
He's
crazy.
not going to be making fly ball outs. And then the best part about it, how about we shrink some of these at bats? How about we do some sacrifices, right? Some bunts, stuff like that. So at least the less amount of at bats he has, the more likely he is to have a higher average. So I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in.
I love it. All right. So my wish number 2 that I am granting, Andrew Painter's going to win NL Rookie of the Year, boys. Slim, this is your wheelhouse. I was checking the odds earlier today. If you would have told me a year ago that Justin Crawford would be plus 1,500 and Andrew Painter would be plus 3,000 for Rookie of the Year, what would you have said? There's value there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's value there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The only thing is, just like back to our fantasy draft, is the position players versus the pitcher.
No doubt. No doubt.
So Painter would have to be excellent. So
well, I did a little homework. So as far as pitchers go, Devin Williams won Rookie of the Year. Paul Skeens won Rookie of the Year, all within the last 5 or 6 years. So there's recent precedent. So boys, let's jump on now. Let's get a ticket.
And I'm down on that. Honestly, for both guys potentially too, because that's super high value.
I already have a Crawford ticket. It's funny.
If we all fork up,
let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump over to your third wish, Slim.
$1,000, $30,000.
All right, Slim.
Pay a
wish
producer.
number 3.
Aiden Miller will make his big league debut. He seems like he's inevitable. I don't know when or where. Whoever is not prepared, better watch out, because they're going to fit. Aiden Miller's coming for your spot. I don't know if there's going to be third base, second base, or somewhere in the outfield, but he's coming, and I'm super excited for it, because here's another guy. What if he gets up here early and then he's fantastic?
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Seems like the outfield thing's out of the question. I think Topper kind of addressed that.
What did he say?
Something about he's not going to be playing left field. Didn't he say that the other day?
Yeah, they poo-pooed the outfield thing for sure.
But you never know. It could happen. If he's down in the minors and they say, oh, shit, we're in the same situation we were, you got to go play the outfield for a couple games, see how you do.
I think we're going to probably see him in the second half and where he's needed. So a bunch of stuff could happen. He seems like he's good enough to basically play wherever.
So, Bones, we got to do your third wish here, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's crank that up here. There you go.
Adolis Garcia will finish with more home runs than Bryce Harper. We all know Bryce Harper likes
your
the
favorite.
DL. Likes the DL. Probably hit it again this year. I think Garcia in this park, I think he'll be able to crank some out, and I think he'll hit more home runs than Bryce Harper this year.
What's that number, though? Because
Harper
this doesn't necessarily mean a good or a bad thing. So elaborate on that.
Harper, he only averages about 25 homers, 75 RBIs a year. So I would say 20. What did he hit last year? 27. We'll go
27.
We'll go 30. Over 30.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, if we get 30 out of Garcia and 28 out of Harper, we're all happy, right?
Yeah, that's massive. That's probably, if we get 20, I mean, we'll probably get over 20 home runs from Garcia. If we get 25, that would be great. If he's going to be cranking them like that, Bones, is he the solution at the cleanup spot? And is Bryce Harper's comment about the cleanup production last year, is he's then taking another comment saying we didn't do enough this year. Does he not think Garcia and Boone can do it? Because I mean, I don't think he meant anything towards Garcia, but I think Garcia probably thinks he can fill those shoes if he's on.
No doubt. Yeah. And so Topper commented onto that earlier today, to Bones' point earlier. And he basically said that the cleanup spot has not been cemented, right? Obviously, they're going to lean on the righties, JT, Garcia, and Bohm. It looks like Bohm is in the running for the leader of the clubhouse as far as who's going to go that way. But yeah, I mean, if Garcia is hot in a month, why not slide him down? Absolutely. All right, before I get to mine, we had a couple quick chat questions. Jerry agrees with you, Bones. He's saying that Long absolutely stinks as a hitting coach. We got Jacob in the chat asking, is Aiden Miller with the Iron Pigs yet? Yeah, so last year he played, I think his last 10 games or so in AAA, and he raked. So, yeah, he has been up in AAA, and he will be starting his year there, Jacob. And then JR question here is saying his wish.
Kind of read these comments.
Gabriel Rinconez Jr. I'll pop it up. JR, my wish. Gabriel Rinconez Jr. will take Marsh's starting spot and allow Marsh to be the defensive replacement position. Interesting. Slim, you're high on Rinconez.
Yeah, I'm high on Rinconez, but I thought the theory was Rinconez was going to play right field. So I'm worried about Rinconez. I'm all in on Rinconez. I think he has all the talent in the world. Again, it comes down to opportunity. And I thought his best match was in right field with potentially a failing Garcia happening, and then Rinconez picking up the slack and being plugged in there. In left field, I still like Kemp. I still like Otto Kemp getting the time there. But I'm fine with Rinconez. So that if it becomes Rinconez, Kemp, and I'm 100% with you at Marsh coming off the bench and being that defensive substitution center fielder.
Well, to JR's point, though, it's almost like Rinconez is the equal player that Marsh is, because he can't hit. They both can't hit lefties, and if Marsh starts to struggle for whatever reason or goes down, gets hurt, then we send up Rinconez, then he could kind of take that job,
right? And then
yes.
Marsh, this is last year, right? So he can just go off on sunset. We can save $5-6 million, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I know Rinconez is a little behind schedule with a injury right now, but hopefully
that's not great to hear, man.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't set him back too much. All right, so my final wish that I'm granting, and like the Phillies, I am going to be running back a wish that I granted last year, and this one came true. The Mets will not make the playoffs again this year. I am speaking that into existence. I will grant that true. That will happen, Phillies fans. So that will happen again this year, running it back. That would be sweet, would it not be?
Absolutely. Especially with the amount of money they spend each offseason. Yeah. They're trying to fit square pegs and circle holes. And, yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping for the downfall. I would love to see them finish in third or even fourth place this year in the NL East.
I believe I granted that wish last year, and you just drafted it.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, that's good editorial work by you. Is that the first time that either of you have corrected a fact on the show live? Thank you for that. That's the energy. Bring that energy for 2026. That's the energy.
I only remember because I'm the one that did it.
And I'm not 100% sure you're correct there either, to be honest. So we'll have to. Yeah,
because I brought it up. I brought it up like mid-season when the Mets were like leading the division. I said that, and when we redrafted it, I said, "No, this is probably least likely going to happen now."
Okay,
that they would miss the playoffs and they wind up tanking and missing the playoffs.
I think you're actually wrong, because I'm looking at it from last year right now, and under my name, the New York Mets will not make the playoffs. So I'm the one who.
No, that's what you drafted.
I know is I was on that downfall every week as it happened. And I was also on the Reds, which they got in, but it was one of the ugliest get-ins I've ever seen.
The Reds, who you picked to win the World Series?
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, they were ugly. They were one of the least playoff prepared teams I've ever seen.
Well, and we said it. Some of these wild card teams getting in have been absolutely getting smashed. So the MLB is going to have to do something with that. Slim and the red corner won't be making those mistakes again.
No, absolutely not. We learned from our mistakes here. All right,
And then
boys.
didn't Bones just have Hunter Green somewhere after we watched that dude get absolutely shelled? That dude had the lights. I've never seen lights look brighter for somebody.
What did I say about Hunter Green?
Was it what was the Hunter Green conversation? Or I think he was one of these guys in the top 10, maybe over Wheeler and Sanchez. It wasn't you, Bones. I take it back.
Yeah, no. There was some Hunter Green drama. All right, Bones. I think we can transition out of our match.
Yeah, I can't read shit. I just realized how old I'm getting, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it feels like 15 degrees colder. Seriously. All right, so yeah, the Genies are gone. 2027.
Cover my bald
Slim.
spot.
So what covers your bald spot?
Power alleys.
Are we doing our 40th birthdays to Turkey, boys? At least me and Bones.
Listen, you can get a new hairline for like $5,000. You can't beat that. Seriously.
You can't.
You know what I love about that? People love to talk smack on people that do it. But I mean, $5,000, new hairline, it's worth it.
It's $5,000, and you got to be able to just stomach like 18 months of whatever like the transition is of your head.
I met a guy, friend of a friend, and the only person I've ever met in person that had a hair transplant. Looked good. It really did. It looked good. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, yeah, it looks great. Anyway, so chat, thank you for all the activity. We appreciate it. Any questions about the Phils, hair transplants, whatever, Genie mask, throw them there. Let's transition to our unofficial favorite player, our unofficial mascot, Nick Castellanos. So that was a very ugly goodbye, boys, right? So about as ugly as it gets. I mean, Scott Rowland, JD Drew, Papelbon, who am I missing, Bones? Just some ugly towards the end guys, obviously for different reasons. There's another pitcher I'm missing. The snake. Rattlesnake. Yeah, we'll get back to that. You should know who I'm talking about. But anyway, ugly
Wagner
end.
had like some comments once he signed with the Mets. I remember.
Right.
Mike Timlin didn't want to be here.
Right. So basically, there was a big story that dropped, right? People are calling it a hit piece. People are calling this, that. But where are we at on this whole thing? My biggest takeaway is the 17 sources between the team and the players. Where did you guys land on all this stuff?
So first off, I'm team Gelb. I'm team Phillies organization, right? We have to do a one versus who. Yeah, I find Gelb to be honest, credible. He had the 17 sources. He says he reached out to Castellanos in their camp for their rebuttal, got nothing back, which I 100% believe. And frankly, I don't believe the Nick Castellanos letter. You're not gonna snapshot one event and act like it was it shows your entire time here, because it wasn't just one event. It was you for 3-4 years.
Right.
And we treated you with class. We gave you the rope. You know, you played every single day. You had the streak. You were the worst defensive player in baseball. You had an OPS of 600, and you were playing every single day. So when we make a strategic move to pull you later in the game for a defensive player, there should be no issue. Right.
And Bones, before I kick it over to you, I got to give this inside baseball before I get Slim. We were cracking up at this. So full disclosure, right? We're all basically aligned on this, right? But on Twitter, Mike Sealski made a comment where he basically, in my opinion, misrepresented some of the scenario, right? He basically said that Castellanos only released the beer detail because Gelb went to him and said that I have this story, right? To which I said, well, if you're taking Castellanos for what he said he wanted to come forth with it all during the season. The Phillies wanted it buried. So this is where the funny part comes in. I commented on that on Twitter, and it got a lot of traction. Nick Castellanos' wife liked my tweet. She then subsequently deleted her Twitter because, Slim, like you speculated, that aspect might not have been true, because she was basically saying that they never reached out to Castellanos at all, which that doesn't really check out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That totally doesn't check out.
Yeah. So that was kind of a funny detail that we were, air quotes, involved in. because she obviously wanted it.
Yeah. It's always the family stuff is always a thin line because like they are part of the conversation and the dialogue on social media. They just are.
Castellanos, he always had a bad thing going with the media, so they're just going to tag team him, like double down on everything that the Phillies are going with, just because they hate him. Everything with that goes back to the Jim Salisbury thing from a few years ago.
100%.
But he was standoffish his first year here because the truth is he's rooted in, and he had a comment today with San Diego. He doesn't respect non-players, you know? And here's the other thing. There's probably players, because I remember the first year, I shared this story on Twitter. I think he got a game-winning hit, or he was a player of the game, or something along those lines. He's been interviewed on the field by Fransky and L.A.,
yeah.
And long story short, he was so standoffish, you know?
He like, cool guy.
Yeah. And I bet you at that point in time, he probably didn't know LA was a player himself either. You know, so I would say there's times where I absolutely believe Castellanos is ignorant, you know? And then let's go back to the Manfred stuff.
Right.
We had all right. It doesn't you don't curse at your boss, right? So we have Bryce Harper cursing, right? That was a story, cursing at Manfred, saying we'll strike if you want to bring in the.
He told him to get the F out of the clubhouse.
He told him to get the F out of the clubhouse.
If you bring up the cap.
Right. So that reminds me of Castellanos vibes. But then we see the other side of Castellanos. Apparently, he's the leaker. He's the one that leaked the conversation, which is it's crazy.
Wait, what? Who's the leaker?
So with that story, I heard the reason that story came out is due to Castellanos. Did you hear this rumor?
Oh, no, I missed that. That makes sense. I see what you're saying. Huh.
Which is just like, first off, I don't like they have a very me versus them attitude, Harper and Castellanos, you know. It's, they're baseball players, but they really do think they're like blue collar workers.
Right, but let's put our cards on the table here, right? Because and people in the chat, Mike, that's a really good point. He's saying that absolutely, we all know people are awesome when things are going well, and they're the worst when not, right? So I always say you can kind of judge people when things are kind of just going down the middle, right? Castellanos had a reputation for being high maintenance, right? We have some sources internally that say he wasn't always the easiest to deal with, right? He wasn't always Mr. Nice, but also we have a lot of sources in the bartending community and stuff like that that said he's an absolute class act, right? They said he's a really good tipper, really polite. So I don't like the whole completely judging someone's entire personality on a couple interactions thing. I don't think he's the worst person in the world by any means. Like,
no, but I think you can understand where he's coming from because, like you said, we hear the bartending stories that he would go out with the team. He was the most generous of all the Philly players, not just now, but in a while. We see the story with Otto Kemp. He opened up his house to Otto Kemp. Otto Kemp wife put that up there. So no, this isn't a whole generalizing thing, but it shows you where his point of view is, right? He respects the working person. So he has something wrong. And let's be frank, Slim and Nick Castellanos, we take things personally and we have issues sometimes with the managerial class. And that's where we're at. And that's a natural thing. And we both are absolutely fantastic tippers.
No, but my biggest thing is we always appreciated his quirkiness to a certain extent. But I think, and Slim, you hit this on the nail on the head, because this is where that Phillies organization is a fraternity, right? And there's a certain level of respect and class that you have to carry yourself with. Guys like L.A., Kruk, they definitely maintain that, where it's like, hey, respect the game. Don't act like you're bigger than the game. And those were the people that he rubbed the wrong way. Those were the people that he 100% rubbed the wrong way.
And let's touch that, because that was a popular thing when the story first broke with Nick Castellanos and cracking a beer, right? Because everyone's like, oh, he was cracking a beer. Let's go. Like, there were so many of those talking heads types. And then the next line was the 93 team, the 93 team, the 93 team. What would have happened on that 93 team? Because to me, maybe someone on that 93 team would have grabbed him a little bit more forcefully or along those lines and said, dude, stop. Before,
What do you think, Bones? you want to jump in there?
We're
I know we've
Raven
been
Pro.
They
running.
were probably
Fantasy
drinking
Cock,
beers
yeah.
during the game anyway in the '93 team. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, all that he wouldn't have lasted in that locker room
No. You definitely
because they were close to the media, everybody like with that. So, in my opinion, he's Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
not.
That's his media availability. So he gives simple answers to stupid questions.
That's a good point. No, that is a good point. He definitely almost tries to embarrass the question asker to a certain extent, right? He gives stupid answers to stupid questions, but he can be disrespectful at times for sure, not understanding that the person is trying to do their job. We get all that. But the biggest thing is how much of a distraction, because this is where my mind has been in a blender this weekend, right? Because this has been like the most anti-Phillies culture weekend ever. Because on one hand, I want to give so much kudos to the clubhouse for keeping all this stuff internalized for as long as it has been. And on the other hand, I'm like, shit, it all bursted in this story. So, like, where do you guys view so let's play the speculation game. Do you think it was just the players colluding and saying, hey, we got to get this out here because enough's enough with him?
Right. So you're saying, how does Gelb get the okay from everybody to publish the story? Because why would the Phillies even want this out there?
Exactly.
And I think first and foremost, what I would say is that we got to give the journalistic kudos work a little bit to Gelb.
Definitely. Oh no, a bomb story, an absolute bomb story.
I would just say that potentially it's not as much of a talking head point straight from the Phillies organization as maybe we think. So that's kind of how I would say. I do think he obviously let them know what was going on, all that kind of stuff. But then there was enough stuff there. It was solid. You let it go. And that's why you see, I mean, yeah, I think I'm hoping they can turn the page on this one. But yeah, I would give more kudos to Gelb than it being a conspiring effort of the organization against Castellanos.
I just wished it was released earlier in the offseason than now.
Yeah, good point.
Like you're getting rid of them no matter what, right? So why does it really matter? Were you holding it just in case somebody tried to trade for them?
Yes.
And then it didn't get. But you knew nobody was going to trade for them, so just leak it out, cut them, and then why wait till this point when it's we're just starting spring training and we're starting with this, a guy that's not even on the team.
So Gelb commented on that. Gelb commented on that. He said that he was waiting for the story to be when he officially was no longer on the team because that made the most sense. That's why he did it now. So he did comment explicitly on that. Just to set the record straight on that.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying, like, why didn't the Phillies just cut him? Because he probably got something from the Phillies and said, "Yo, let's wait." I think he got like something and said, "Yo, just wait to post this stuff until he's gone." He wasn't doing that on his end, I think.
Yeah, and Bones just saying the Phillies could have cut him sooner, and then Gelb could have dropped the story sooner.
Right. Well, that's exactly what would have happened. Yeah. No doubt.
Why,
yeah.
So, and that's another stain at Dombrowski's. That's the approval rate on Dombrowski again. Why did it take so long to release him?
So where do you guys stand on that? Because I'm a little conflicted on that, to be honest. Because on one hand, I go like shrewd businessman, like we don't really owe him anything from the standpoint of we are going to be giving him $100 million when it's all said and done, right? On the other hand, I'm kind of like cut bait because it was a distraction all off season, right? And it's not, and the return was never going to be substantial. So I'm going to put my cards out there on the table. My take on that is more Monday morning quarterback. I was more on the stance of wait as long as you can because maybe you'll get a late offseason injury that will open up a trade.
Yeah.
And because that didn't happen, I don't think I can take back my opinion, but I see both sides.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good.
Right.
And then especially, I mean, and what happens is if you go just the way it looks, right? He signed for $750,000.
Yeah, league
minimum, which is super. It's nothing. But on the other end, what are the fans saying? He signed right away with the Padres, you know?
Right. Exactly. The optics of it, which you got to be a little bit
you got to be smarter than that.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than that.
So
But
one thing I noticed when I was reading the letter, and
Mhm.
Castellanos stated this in his first press conference here, how he was paid to hit home runs and not like be some smart guy. I was
College
looking
degree.
at I was reading that letter, and he had some grammar
Yeah.
issues in there.
Typos.
I think he spelled relieve wrong or relieved.
That's funny.
Forgot the I
know-
before E, except or received I before E, except after C.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and yeah, going like you said, that was his opening press conference where he said, "I'm getting paid to hit baseball, not have a college degree." So good luck. Last
Right.
comment on Castellanos is the makeover, the haircut, the clean shave. It's always extraordinary to see the signature look changes when players have a new scenery or when they're trying to get out of a slump. It is really funny.
I love it. He looks a little thin too, right? He looks like he lost a couple pounds.
He looks like a different dude. Looks like
He
a different
does.
dude.
All right. So
I think he's going to have a good year. Contract
see.
year for him. Contract year for him out there.
we'll see. Are you rooting for him?
Damn
No.
right.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Interesting. Well, you are
Just
because of
any-
fantasy, right?
I am because of fantasy and just I've been rooting for Nick Castellanos ever since the Jake Cave thing with Chris.
That's funny.
Well, the J Cave thing, I mean, yeah, that's how far back it goes. That's how far back it goes.
I think my official stance is I just don't want him to embarrass himself, right? I want him to represent himself well. I don't want him to impact the Phillies, negatively, obviously.
I don't think he's going to hit good here.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
we're going to
see.
have his number this year.
We'll have to see that one. But before we transition to talking some Phillies from starting pitchers, I want to go back to the chat here because there's been some funny ones. So, Mike, you said don't do it. Are you commenting on hair transplants? So we'll have to see what he meant by that because he said don't do it. The other thing he said here is this is regarding Castellanos. He was being a smart ass with the beer. I usually do one thing when I'm out of the game, and here I am with my beer. Thinks he's smarter than what he is. Yeah, that was just a defiant move. Yeah, just being defiant.
He thinks he's smarter than what he is,
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't read books. You think you're smarter than what you are.
And then JR saying he will always root for Nikki C. Guy's a legend. Listen, I get it, man. Jerry saying he hopes he has a career year. That's hilarious.
That's
Man, Nick
this
Castellanos
guy.
was,
He was not. He didn't help us do anything.
is he
Okay.
the most? So now that it's over, right? Which almost seems crazy. Is he the most down the middle player where he splits people down the middle out of Phillies of our lifetime? Gotta be, right?
Bobby Abreu.
Dude,
Bobby Abreu is a good answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. But Bobby was clearly better than Nick ever was.
Way better than Nick Castellanos
so
ever
that's
was.
what I'm
And
saying.
But people still hate him.
That's true.
yeah, but
That's true.
Bobby Abreu's probably truly
Good
a
answer.
victim of sports radio narratives on a losing team, right? How come we're not better and this guy's
100%.
this? So that's
100%.
Nick Castellanos didn't get that. Nick Castellanos made himself the focus point. Bobby Abreu never did that. That's how I would say. And Nick Castellanos is like you said, not even close to the
Well,
same.
no,
tier of player.
just say the name. Just say the name. It was the Cataldi Eskin.
Yeah.
They were driving the narrative, right?
Yeah,
They drove the narrative on Abreu.
the lazy outfield stuff.
the lazy narrative. And also the other thing is that was pre normalization of modern analytic stats. And if you look back and when Abreu, it's like, holy shit, he was a hell of a player. So like if we would have saw that today and the story on him would have been way different.
And here's the biggest contrast of the two. And Chad Durbin spoke on this about the Beltron stuff. There's some players that just make things look effortless, and you think they're not doing something hard, but it's like they're doing it as hard as they possibly can or need to do it. That's Bobby Abreu to a T. And that's the opposite of Nick Castellanos. Every ball you could see that dude hauling ass to go get.
I thought of another player, and this kind of I brought him up earlier, Papelbon, right? Because on one hand, he's an all-time save leader for the franchise, which is funny. On the other hand, there's not a lot of Phillies Papelbon fans out there, right? There's really not. Yeah,
none.
So who else?
I love Papelbon.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You loved
was a
him on the
man.
Phillies?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. So that.
Yeah. Dude, when he walked off that mound and grabbed his.
Oh, jeez.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, you would like that. You're just
distasteful. Distasteful for sure.
All right, so let's go back to the chat here, and we'll talk some final stuff here. Yes, so Mike confirmed that he was talking about the hair transplant. Abreu should be in the Hall of Fame. Jerry, I love it. That's funny, Jerry. I would not expect you to have that stance, but I love to hear it. Mike,
We might have to do it. We might have to do it because Abreu is probably not going to get in with this within the 10 years. We might have to do might have to do the Dick Allen thing that we have to do the Bobby Abreu thing that we did for Dick Allen.
Oh yeah,
in a
to get him in.
Yeah.
JR in the chat saying, coming at you, Slim. Don't transition to a Bohm love fest, Slim.
Whoever's going to be third base is going to be my guy. We ended up trading Bohm and having to put Miller there. I'm all for that too. But I'm in on Bohm. I thought he had a good. I think he's better than what we give him credit for. The power numbers is what's baffling, right? How come this guy can't hit more home runs?
There's two under the radar headlines that I'm looking out for, storylines, I guess I should say, not headlines, is Bohm, career year and a potential walk year, right? And then Garcia, right? Because there's really not a lot of pressure on either of those guys, relatively speaking. There's always pressure. But if one of those guys can step up and just have like a really good year, that would be so impactful for this team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Last thing here we got Mike saying, I'm an Abreu guy. Roland was polarizing too. He was.
I think he was more split down the middle, like towards the end because of everything going on.
What about Schilling?
Family?
With Kurt Schilling?
Schilling's a good one. Schilling's a really good one. Yeah.
Because people even hated him in 93.
The team didn't like him.
Pitching awesome, yeah.
Yeah, the team didn't like him.
He's the closest to Castellanos. But again, he was putting up. So there's a different one. There's like that Michael Jordan factor of you're like the best one there and you're being a little obtuse to teammates or whatnot. If you're not the man. You're not demanding it of yourself.
And the other gets like no, you go. Go.
No, you were going to comment on that. I was going to comment on something else.
I was just going to comment on two Schilling things. Number one, the other thing is like he was really good too, right? Like people don't realize like how good he was, and then he had like multiple careers after that where he obviously was a star, and we never really embraced that. So it was almost like, damn, that was our guy who then became a star in multiple locations after. That kind of sucked.
Yeah, because they blew in the 90s.
Who did?
The Phillies. Outside of 93.
I was talking about Schilling. I'm sorry. I was like, no, the hell he didn't. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. After 93, it went downhill. But did you see what he's like super, and if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. He's super, super in the weeds on like this role-playing game, this computer game. Have you seen this? Dude, for the last...
he lost a lot of money on it.
He did. He lost because he did invest it.
Of money. But
he plays it. So he's like this like strategy role-playing computer game guy, and he does like a podcast on it and stuff. It's very interesting.
I'll have to maybe check it out.
Check it out because I tuned in. I'm like, I'm gonna see what Schilling's got to say, right? Obviously, and it was not about baseball. It was just about this computer game. I was like, this is interesting.
It's like a civilization game.
It's and we'll follow up in chat. If you guys know, let me know. It's more like military based. I think it's like a military strategy role-playing game. Kind of like risky, like Risk almost, but computer version. All right, so on to the next potential storyline. Maybe this will help, shrug this under the rug. Starting pitching depth. Do you guys think we're going to get something done? There's only a few names out there left. Giolito. What are you thinking? Bones.
I think we got to do something. I know Wheeler's going to be coming back earlier than they expect, but I still think they need to do something to have the depth, and maybe it's bringing back a Walker Buehler type thing.
Okay.
But Taijuan Walker as the fifth guy. Like, even if it's only a few starts, it can't happen because then if he goes to the bullpen and then someone goes down again and we're dealing with the same thing we were last year with Walker, can't do it. We got to do something. And I think they are. It sounds like they're still going to be in the market for it.
Yeah, Dombrowski said it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they'll get something done.
So you're saying we can't use Walker because down the line we got to put him in the bullpen, then it's a waste of spot for Walker there?
No, I'm just saying I don't want to go through that again with Walker.
Because I'm fine with Walker starting early on here for a little bit.
No,
yeah,
but
I mean,
if
as a
someone goes
five,
down, I don't think it's good to last the whole season with him.
Right. Okay. No, I got 1, 2. It wouldn't be. You would just need him until Painter comes and Wheeler. So the question is Painter ready to make the club right away? Because Wheeler's not here. So we need Painter. If Painter doesn't look like he's ready to make the club, then I think we see a move. I think that move could be something as small as, like you said, Walker Buehler, or something else. Gallon is the other guy that's still out there. I think Gallon's going to be
Gallon signed.
He just re-signed with the D-backs.
Yep.
Oh, so he went back to. Oh, wow. And Giolito is he out there?
Yeah, he's out there, and so is Lightel.
Okay,
They're the two big ones.
I think they seem a little bit too expensive, probably for my taste, even on 1-year deals.
Fair.
And I think we just wait to see what Painter looks like this spring. And if it doesn't look like he's ready, then I think you see a move. If not, I think we're rolling out. Probably Walker is the 4th, maybe. Let Painter be the 5, or vice versa there. And let's get ready. We saw Painter throwing with who? JT Realmuto. Like, that stuff is beautiful to see.
Yeah, but I feel like we keep having this conversation and we're just ignoring the numbers here, right? So look at it here: Wheeler, Painter, Sanchez, Luzardo, Walker. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wheeler, Painter, Sanchez, Walker, Luzardo.
Yeah. So why would you not want to have someone replace a Taijuan Walker who's told you that he can't go a full year? We're missing Nola.
You're missing Nola. Yeah, there's Nola.
Yeah. But again, back to my original point I was going to make is we got the question mark in when Wheeler's actually going to start, right? And then we have Taijuan Walker, who we know can't go a full year. So having an extra arm in here is good.
But you have, but you don't need to go out and spend on an arm or anything serious, because all you really need is a holdover move, which Walker can be till Wheeler comes back. And then the real issue is if Painter's not really ready, now you got 2 open spots. You got the hangover from the Wheeler injury, and now you got this Painter hole, which I don't think any of us think is going to be a hole. So I'm fine with Walker having the same exact role he had last year, where he was actually very, very serviceable in his starts. Besides a couple he got rocked, obviously.
But what if Noel is auditioning for the home run derby again?
Then that becomes a problem. Nola has to be good. Nola gets paid to be good. If he's looking problematic, then we might see a situation where we have to trade Bohm or one of these guys to get something figured out, and we can move Miller up.
No, it's a good point that you've been making, Slim, because you're basically saying, like, where's everybody going to go, right? And a lot of things we've been almost ignoring the actual strategy of where people are going to go, right? That's what I'm trying to address here, because let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, we bring in Giolito, right? And if Wheeler is back after 1 start, then who's the person are we going 6-man? You can go 6-man, right?
Yeah,
which obviously Wheeler doesn't want, but we can go 6-man, or to Mike in the chat right now, his point with the long man. So is the guy that we sign, is he okay being a long man, or are we just at that point just going to put Walker as a long man? That's what we got to figure out. But the more the merrier with the arms, man. The more the merrier.
I'm no doubt. If we do see his signing, like you said, it's going to be one of these names that probably won't be too thrilling.
Right.
What about a Max Scherzer?
You think he's going to do the David Robinson type thing, though? Where he waits to be selective for a contender?
He's probably ready to go now. He's probably just he might.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, but it goes back to the point you just made. Where's his role? Because he's not 1, 2, 3, or he might not even be better than Nola or Painter next year. He probably won't be. I'll take Nola over Scherzer.
A couple good points here. So JR in the chat saying 6-man would benefit Painter's innings, Nola's age, and Wheeler's injury. Yeah, it would, man. That's the layup answer, I feel like. That's the layup answer. And then Jerry has a follow-up for you, Bones. Bones, what do you mean if he's always pitching batting practice? He's talking about Nola. There you go. Sorry, Nola. I didn't realize I just set you up to get shredded. Final comment here, and then I'm going to do closing thoughts. They also hope to have the Luzardo can repeat of that. Absolutely. Who do you think's going to have the best year out of our pitchers this year? It's a fun little game.
Sanchez.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Sanchez.
Zach Wheeler.
So the exciting part is it realistically could be 3 guys, but it most likely will be the 2 you just named, right? Like you could say there's like a 15% chance it could be Luzardo, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, him and Wheeler might be a little bit closer to each other due to the injury.
Right, but that's exciting.
Yeah,
we have 3 guys that could potentially have the best year out of the pitchers. That's huge.
And then Wheeler has the blood clot issue with the injury, and then Luzardo has had little spurts here and there, so to where Sanchez hasn't had that. So I do think Sanchez at this point is healthier and better due to that reason.
Anything else, boys? This was a fun one as always. Chat, thank you. A lot of great activity tonight. And let me just make a couple announcements. Number one, if you are still here, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. We are very close to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're like 15 or 20 away, so help us get there, please. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The other thing is we are now going back to our in-season routine, right, boys? So we are going to be live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. That's the time the Red Corner will be on all throughout the season. If there is a game during that time, you will recall we do our live watch-alongs. We have a lot of really exciting things coming up. We can't announce it all right now, but we have a lot of new faces we're going to be introducing. We have a lot of new content type that we're going to be introducing. So this is going to be a big year. We've been saying for a while, boys, these next 2 seasons are going to be huge for us with leveling up. And thank you, chat, for making this fun for us every week. Boys, what do you got for me? Close it down.
My last thing, I don't think we're going to see a 6-man rotation, even though I do agree that it would lessen the stress on Nola, Wheeler, Painter. What we could see is something like the Dodgers. We bring in a vet to be a 5th guy here, and then we can slow roll Andrew Painter. He could be 100% ready, but we could keep him in the minors for a little bit, or just like we saw with Trey Savage and not Ime, who was and Saki for the Dodgers.
Sasaki
for the Dodgers. So that's
a little bit different scenario with Sasaki though, because he stunk.
Because he
got hurt.
They gave him the thing, but when he came, since he got we're gonna have injuries too.
Yeah.
So if there's anything along those lines, I think instead of a 6-man rotation, I think it's more likely that we see an even slower roll of Painter, even though we don't want to, and then seeing him unleashed again.
Good point.
Not again, finally unleashed. That's what I would say. I used to be the 6-man rotation guy.
Yeah, what happened? What happened, dude?
It doesn't seem like a reality. Slim lives in reality, and like Bones has said, and you guys have said, it only becomes a reality later in the year when it's a pick your spot scenario.
All right, I got a couple quick hitters for you, and Bones, we'll start with you. Who has more starts this year, Painter or Taijuan Walker?
Painter.
Bones. Painter. All right. Overrated or underrated? York peppermint patties. Bones. I just
underrated.
Okay.
They're underrated. I like your peppermint patty so much that I went to the movies yesterday and I ate not one box, but 2 boxes of the lesser cousin, the Junior Mints.
Okay.
The Junior Mints and a large popcorn.
Good for you. Good for you, man. Yeah, so we're our York Peppermint Patty podcast, and I thought I'm with you, underrated. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a split there. It's a great thing, man. They're so refreshing.
Yeah, I actually introduced. It was a junior mint. It wasn't a York Peppermint Patty, but I was with my nephew who had never had a junior mint. I gave this kid a junior mint, and he was surprisingly delighted with the refreshness of the spearmint flavor.
All right, last question, then we're going to truly close it down.
I got one more thing too, and this is going way, 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 way back. I wish I would have brought it up. Going back to Topper saying we're going to have Turner, Harper, and Schwarber in the top 3. Do we see Harper batting any leadoff potentially again, or is that not a conversation? Because that reminds me of the 6-man rotation.
What do you think, Bones?
Talk about it. It would be kind of cool, but is it ever going to be a reality?
I wouldn't be shocked. I think there's more and more people talking about it. It's coming up. We've seen Ryan Spader. He's been tweeting about it for the longest time. And then I seen some tweets not so long ago about him batting leadoff. And I forget who it was, but they quoted Spader about it and saying wanted him batting leadoff, and it was somebody bigger in the insider market. I think was it just a random person on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about and I'm going to comment on that thoroughly because that's another thing I'm conflicted on. Right, the science is simple, right? You lead off, you get more at-bats, right? It's simple as that. So you want your better hitters to get more at-bats. That's what they say. Now,
dogs are at it.
Yeah, the dogs are at it.
Season's back in, baby.
Let's go, baby. And I already lost my train of thought because of them. No, but the science behind it is simple, right? The better the player is, you want them to get more at-bats. Now, where do you weigh that in versus the comfort of the player? The people that are going to be looking back at the stat sheets like we all do, we're the stat sheet nerds, but it does matter, right? It does matter how the player feels. So, and for all my doomers out there, all my Phillies doomers out there, I'm going to remind, holy shit, dude. I'm going to mute you for a second. For all my Phillies doomers out there, I'm going to remind you about something right now. The Phillies, your Phillies, have 2 of the top 5 in NL MVP last year. On our team. Turner was 5, Schwarber was 2. So we have 40% of the top 5 on our team. So things aren't all that bad. So I bring that up because if Turner just had a top 5 MVP season, do we want to change that around? I don't know.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We just had Turner who has, for all the Kevin Long stuff, for all the approach stuff that we saw against the Diamondbacks in 23, against the Mets in 24. Turner really has responded. And then he responded in his approach. And secondly, he steals bases. So if Harper's on base, is now kind of low-key kind of getting clogged. Because I know Harper likes taking the chances, but he's no Corbin Carroll when it comes to always getting it done.
No, 100%. So I wanted to comment on that. A couple quick things. It's funny. We're going a little bit long, but listen, we're back to Sunday nights, baby. It's funny. My grandpa, who always watches, anytime we get to an hour and 15, he gives me a comment on the length.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
He goes, that episode was good, but it was a little bit long.
That's funny. That's funny. We're used to it. We're the age of long form.
We are. So JR is saying, who finishes the season with better stats? Bubba Chandler, Yasavich, Painter, and Nolan McLean. The theme here for people listening or watching is obviously young pitchers, right? So, good question, man. These guys are future Cy Young candidate guys here. Want to take a stab at this, Bones?
Bubba.
Yeah.
I go Painter, Savage, Chandler, McLean. I think Painter, due to the experience of the staff, he's going to be able to collect more information than these other guys. Bubba Chandler is competing with guys like Skeens. You think Skeens is going to be sharing the wealth of knowledge as a young guy compared to a Wheeler, a Nola, a Sanchez, right? So for me, it's Andrew Painter.
I'm going to go with
him. He's on his team.
Yeah, you're. I don't know where you're going with that.
I'm saying he's going to be less. He's going to be reluctant to share anything with them.
He doesn't have the veteran presence that the other guys. I see what you're saying.
And he's going to be, and he's looking to be with the Yankees next year or another team already.
I'm going to give an answer that no one wants to hear on this podcast. I think it's going to be McLean. He looked absolutely nasty, and he has the precedent now. So, I mean, all these guys were nasty. I mean, Savage was nasty. Savage, local guy, too.
And now, will McLean be considered a rookie next year like the rest of these guys will be?
Yeah, it goes by like innings. I don't think he had enough innings.
Definitely Savage. Definitely Painter, definitely Chandler. The one that I don't know is McLean. JR, you can comment on that. I don't know what
dirty
he got.
versus us, man. We know that.
Yeah. And then underrated for refrigerated too. Mike's obviously talking about the York peppermint patties.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean they are phenomenal refrigerated. All right, guys, let's close it down here. We will see you next week. Let's hopefully no drama, no more General Hospital stuff between now and our next week. Go Phils, and we will see you soon.
Games next week.
Oh yeah, we got some ball
we'll
games.
Talking games. We got on the radio on Saturday and then TV Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about some baseball. We talk about some World Baseball Classic soon. Slim and I will be down in Clearwater. We're gonna be doing all types of fun stuff down there. We got a lot going on right now. And then JR just confirmed in the chat. Yes, they're all under 85 innings, so they're all clear for being qualified for Rookie of the Year. All right, guys, we will talk to you soon.
My bad.
No, you're fine. We will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Red Riders. Go Phils.
And it's the Red